Before this video begins, if you did not see my last video, I am now selling accounts again on 2K. So if you have a 90 overall player or higher and you want to sell your account, make sure to contact me on Twitter. My DMs are open. The link is in the description. On to the video. Today marks 2 months since 2K19 released. For those of us that pre-ordered the game, we got it on the 7th of September. So far, we have gone through not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 patches, which is a pretty high amount, but when the 2K games first come out, there's a lot more patches than there is towards the end of the life cycle of the game. Not a lot has changed though. There's been VC glitches that were patched. There's been very minor things that were patched. The inbound glitch was patched, but not a lot towards the gameplay has really been touched except for steals. Even though Mike Wang said that he was working on the shot contest system, it is still completely broken, which made this a lot easier to make. So my top 3 builds in 2K19 are very easy. The only one that was a little hard to come up with was the number 3. Okay, so starting at number 3, the third best build in 2K19 is the post athletic. Post scoring first, athletic second. This build is an absolute monster in the paint. Also, when you get 94 overall, you become a pure athletic build and a pure post scorer at the same time, which is absolutely brutal. If you haven't seen a post athletic in Takeover once they hit 94 overall, for some reason it gives them contact dunks, which makes them super overpowered. You literally cannot stop a post athletic in Takeover. Before you're in Takeover, it is still extremely overpowered, because along with post scoring badges, you have athletic badges like Relentless Finisher and Posterizer. The combination of those badges makes the player the third best build in 2K19, because for those of you that played 2K18, it's the same exact game in terms of post scoring. You don't need Hall of Fame post scoring badges to absolutely dominate in the paint. You only need silver to gold badges to really destroy your opponent every single time you're down there. If you come up against an experienced post scoring athletic, you are going to be in some serious trouble, because they can drop step, they can post fade. If you give them any space, they can drive with their athleticism. And on top of everything, even if you do get in front of them, you have the chance for one, a relentless finisher layup to go in, because they have high relentless finisher and high layups, or you're going to get posterized. And sometimes it's literally out of your control, because you can get drop stepped, you'll get right back in front of them, they'll pump fake one time, it'll like move you to the side, and then they go straight up and you get posterized, and there's nothing you can do about it. So that is it for build number 3. The second best build in 2K19 is the pure stretch or the pure sharpshooter. The reason why this build is number 2 is because the shot contest in this game is absolutely broken, along with ball handling. For some reason, 2K thinks that you should not lose the ball when you're zigzagging, which is not doing any dribble moves, just moving left, right, left, right. But if you're a playmaker and you're in Takeover and someone comes next to you, all they have to do is hit X and you lose the ball the first time you dribble. 2K has always been this way with their game, so it's no surprise at all that 2K19 is the exact same way. But it would be great that if in 2K20 you're actually rewarded for dribbling instead of rewarded for zigzagging. Anyway, along with zigzagging, the shot contest system is extremely broken and they go perfectly with each other. You know exactly what I'm talking about if you've played 2K19. It doesn't matter where you're at, the 2s or the 3s court, you will get zigzagged by a pure stretch or a pure sharp. All they do is move left, right, left, right, left, right, and as soon as they get a tiny inch of space, if you are to their side, you cannot do anything. There's no contest at all. The only way you can contest somebody is if you're right in front of them. If you are an inch to their left, an inch to their right, you are not going to get any contest at all, and they're going to hit it, especially with their deep range deadeye. Along with a pure sharpshooter and a pure stretch being the second best build in the game, a very deciding factor for that is their takeover. When they're in takeover, it is literally impossible to guard them. Even pure stretches in takeover can fade away just like shot creators in takeover from the 3-point line. For some reason, 2K thought it would be good for a pure sharp or a pure stretch to become literal pure shot creators fading away from the 3-point line when they're in takeover. Along with that, when they are in takeover, they can literally shoot from like 15 feet back. They can shoot from half court on the 3s. And on the 2s, you guys have seen clips of my pure stretch shooting from dumb deep. It's not even humanly possible for any human being on this planet to shoot from where they can shoot from except for Steph Curry and at least hit them efficiently. But in 2K19, as long as you are in takeover and you time your shot correctly and you have a good jump shot on, you can literally shoot from half court with very, very high efficiency, making this build the second best build in the game. Now, before we move on to the number 1 most overpowered, most cheesy build in the entire game, comment down below which one you think I'm going to pick. It should be very easy for those of you that play the game, because the next build is the most broken build of all time. It has the best badges, it has the best everything all put together, and it's completely unfair. It needs patched. Now, people love to say, oh, you're a stretch, or oh, you're this, you're that. That's the only reason you're good. But those are the same people that can't do what you're doing on that build. So just because a build is overpowered doesn't mean you can play on that build and you're just never going to lose again. That's a very common misconception within the 2K community. If you're not good at the game, there's not much that's going to help you. You have to learn on your own. But some builds will definitely help you become a better player, or at least look like a better player. Speaking of builds that makes the player look a lot better than they actually are, our number one build is the Pure Shot Creator. Of course, it's not even close to any other build. Yes, the Pure Sharp and the Pure Stretch have the same exact mechanism in which they win. They feed off the broken shot contest and the zigzag. A Pure Shot Creator has very high speed. They have Hall of Fame mid-range Deadeye, Hall of Fame difficult shots, a very high mid-range depending on how they created their player. And when in takeover and you're a pure build, you get plus 15. So if they have a 95 mid-range, in takeover they have a 110 mid-range, making them completely unstoppable. The only way you will get the ball back versus a Pure Shot Creator in takeover is if they sell themselves and take a very bad shot. Even if they do take a bad shot, I've played so many Pure Shot Creators, and even if they take a bad shot, they will still make most of them because of how high their rating is. On top of them having Hall of Fame Deadeye, Hall of Fame difficult shots, and having plus 15 in takeover, they also have Pick and Roll Maestro. So that also boosts their stats after they touch a screen. And every single Pure Shot Creator, they usually run with Pure Glasses, or they run with inside builds that have very high brick wall. So to put everything together, they have Hall of Fame difficult shots. They have Hall of Fame tireless scores, so they can run all the way around the court, all the way back, and nothing will happen. They have a plus 15 boost in their takeover. They have Pick and Roll Maestro. They have a very high mid-range. They are also 3-point snipers. Yes, the reason why the Pure Shot Creator is the best build in the game, not only because they're mid-range, but if you make a shooting guard Pure Shot Creator, they get silver limitless range. Silver limitless range on a build that does not have Sharpshooter in the name. For example, my playmaking first, sharpshooting second build has silver limitless range, but a build that does not even have Sharpshooter in it gets limitless range. They also, if I'm not mistaken, get deep range Deadeye silver. They could get it bronze though, I could be wrong on that, but I think they also do get it silver. So a Pure Shot Creator can destroy you from anywhere on the court at any time. Plus, once you get them to a high enough overall, they unlock more dunks, like the up and under dunks and such like that, which makes them even more broken. Depending on the height and weight and the wingspan, of course, how you make it, you will get those dunks later on once you get their overall up. So a Pure Shot Creator can destroy you from anywhere on the court. They can hit twos standing, they can hit twos fading, they can hit threes, they can hit threes from limitless range, they can fade from the three, they can fade from limitless range, they can fade from the corner, they can do anything possible, and they can dunk at the same time, and they have a very good inside stats like layups and dunks. They also, if I'm not mistaken, get silver acrobat, meaning in the paint you can do very acrobatic layups, and acrobatic layups are extremely broken this year as well. You have up and under layups, you have Euros, you have the spin layups, because just like the shot contest, if you are behind somebody this year, you are completely done for. So if you get put behind somebody doing any one of those moves, you are completely done for, and there's nothing you can do at all. Now, I know that my build is shot creating first, playmaking second, but I'm telling you guys, there is a huge difference between difficult shots gold and difficult shots Hall of Fame. There's also a huge difference between mid-range Deadeye gold and mid-range Deadeye Hall of Fame, just like there is tireless scorer gold and tireless scorer Hall of Fame. Also, with my shot creator, I've been ISOing like you guys see in most of my clips. I don't even really take screens anymore. I enjoy the game through ISOing now. Of course, I'm going to need screens from time to time if it gets hard, but for the most point, I basically just ISO from now on. But the Pure Shot Creator is definitely by far, it's not even close to the stretch and the Sharpshooter. And if you haven't connected 2 and 2 by now, the reason why is because Pure Sharpshooters and Pure Stretches aren't the best at shooting mid-ranges. Plus, you have to be standing still. They don't have a very good difficult shots. I think they get it bronze. But even with that, they have very low Deadeye. But the pure shot creator has Deadeye from everywhere. They can fade from everywhere. It's just not even fair at all. Along with the Hall of Fame Deadeye in the broken shot contest system, you can be straight in the pure shot creator's face, and it's really against the game if they want to let it go in or not. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree in the comment section. Tell me what you think are the best builds in 2K. Give me your list. Tell me what you think the best builds are in NBA 2K19. Let me know your list. Give me your top 3. They might flip it around and make the pure stretch and the pure sharp #1, but I'm almost guaranteeing that 95% of people in the comment section below will say that the pure shot creator is definitely by far the best build in 2K19. So drop a like on this video if you guys have went through the pain and suffering of trying to guard a pure shot creator. I just started buying and selling accounts again yesterday, guys. Therefore, I have not posted the accounts that I'm selling so far. I should, however, have the accounts posted by tonight or sometime tomorrow. So thank you guys for being patient. If you want to sell me your account, make sure you hit up my Twitter. The link is in the description. It's your boy BADGEPLUG. You've been plugged in. Hit that subscribe button if you're new, and I'm out. Peace.